Hey, Shalom Akim, Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahushai, Ba'ashem Kakadash, Barakatham. Double honors and salutations to the elders and apostles of Grimstone, to the Akim and Akwat, to the bishops, try to fall comes of the earth, holding on to this gospel of the Lord Amashak Yahushua in sincerity and in truth. Shalom, shalom, shalom. This is Brother Menashe DC Camp, another short lesson of exhortation for the hopeful elect. So this drama of of Edom pushing pushing their weight on our people, to bow down. It's just part of prophecy, that we need to go through. Okay, so the argument is not gonna go away. All right, it's just a lightning rod for our people to wake up, and that's exactly what the Lord is going to do with this situation. More of our people are beginning to realize that they need to tighten up, and it's a good opportunity right there, man. The Lord is speeding up things, and our writers are making another lesson, man. All right, so all this agenda of so-called fighting anti-Semitism, it's not it's not going anywhere, man. The more they try to push the lies, the less effective it becomes, because a lot of people are gonna be coming out of the woodworks, man. All types of information, and hey, Scripture talks about you know what happens. So let me put that up real quick. This is 2 Corinthians chapter 13, verse 8. For we can do nothing against the truth, but for the truth. So it's all going in the same direction the Lord has destined it to be. So no matter how desperate these Amalekites try to push their weight on corporations, on the media, on employers to lean on our people to make them lose their source of livelihood. Hey, that's just part of the program, And hey, the Lord Yahushua said if you come to serve Him, you gotta prepare yourself for temptation. You gotta prepare yourself for the loss of all things. And the Apostle Paul even said he count the things he lost as dung. So just imagine, when the Most High puts you on that wavelength of thought, that worldly possessions can get you nowhere in this ministry. The Lord is interested about the righteousness, man. John chapter 4 verse 24. That's a good foundation to always build on. All right, so I'll just read it real quick. John chapter 4 verse 24, it says Yahweh Shai Bashim Kakadash is a spirit, and they that worship him must worship him in spirit and in truth. Yeah, so that's one thing that we have on our side, the Spirit of the Lord. Yahweh Shai. That's what we need, man, to combat all these falsehoods and these narratives they keep on trying to paint against the gospel, because this knowledge of our heritage is so powerful that the elites of this world are scared to talk about it. They rather have their peons, address it in the media. But they're gonna lose. They're losing badly, and our people are beginning to wake up. So this is just the southern kingdom, Judah. Scripture talks about who shall rouse him up. Who shall rouse him up? And that's one thing you need to consider heavily, man. And it's gonna take the power of the Lord, to let these things stir up the pure minds of our people. So I'm going to read the prophecy from the book of Genesis chapter 49. What our forefathers, our father Jacob, whose name was changed to Israel, what he prophesied concerning his sons. So it says in verse 8, Genesis chapter 49, verse 8, Yahweh, thou art he whom thy brethren shall praise. Thy hand shall be in the neck of thine enemies. Thy father's children shall bow down before thee. All right. So this is something we're looking forward to, in the very near future. We already got a glimpse of that, in the ancient times when Judah was the head tribe leading the charge, putting the whole of our nation in order. And it's going to return that way very soon. That's why the Lord placed Yahweh Shai in that line of Yahweh. And it's a beautiful opportunity. And these Amalekites, man, they always want to use their wealth and influence in society as a weapon. But it's not achieving the results that they want. No matter how much damage they do, they can't really break the will of the elect. And the nations are waking up to the fraudulent tactics, despite their business transactions with the nations. The nations are understanding that they're dealing with a bunch of imposters, all right? And then Genesis chapter 4, verse 29 says, Yahweh is a lion's whelp. From the prey, my son, thou art gone up. He stooped down, he couched as a lion, as an old lion, who shall rouse him up? Yeah, so patience, man. You gotta be patient when you prepare to serve the Lord. You have to learn to observe and pay attention to these incidents. No matter how hard they try, to break the will of our people, the Lord always has a perfect response. So it's beautiful, man. They can't really come against the prophets, with their carnal knowledge, and lies, because, they know that that's fire. So they rather dance around the edges, So it's beautiful, man. You're just waiting on them to make their move, when you read Revelation chapter 12, verse 12. So, hey, you're just dealing with, the sweet part of this interaction, and it's going to get sweeter when the Lord gives us the power, to condemn them on the spot, and the judgment follows immediately. So, it's good, these things have to happen. It's necessary. It's part of prophecy. And, our forefather Moses even said that clearly to us in Deuteronomy chapter 28, verse 37. It says, And thou shalt become an astonishment, a proverb, and a byword among all nations, whither the Lord shall lead thee. So that's the judgment of the Lord on our people. And Amalek has had a hand in pushing forth that stereotype against our people in its media. They push this negative image of our people throughout the four corners of the earth. And it's only a matter of time that the Lord, will put his truth on a powerful platform that the whole world will not be able to deny. His message, his truth. So right now, they can enjoy the spotlight, paying all that money to have a front row seat and, become the ultimate oppressors of our people. But at the end of the day, man, we're winning. They're running out of options, and you see that when the truth undresses them, they become upset and nervous and desperate and angry and violent. So expect them to lash out. Expect them to push their so-called false flags. There's so many things Amalek has done that our people haven't even touched, man. We haven't really talked much about 9/11. Folks haven't really talked much about the financial system. They haven't really talked much about the medical system, the educational system, even these so-called law enforcement agencies, man. They're tired of Amalek, man. They're tired of Amalek. To be honest with you, man, you could just see it in the eyes of these government agents, man, when they are around Amalek. They're just tired. They're tired. They're tired of Amalek, man. From the local police sheriff's department all the way up to the Pentagon. Even in Congress, man, they're just tired, man. So that's the reason why, the Lord is going to make a public example out of these Amalekites very soon. So just expect the Lord to make it happen. So the book of Psalms chapter 37, verse 7, it says, "Rest in the Lord and wait patiently for him. Fret not thyself because of him who prospereth in his way, because of the evil man," right? Because of the man who bringeth wicked devices to pass. And that fits Amalek to a T. He's the one leading the charge against our people. He's the one causing instability in the whole world. They're the right hand of Satan. So that's why you just have to trust in the Lord, rest in the Lord, and wait patiently for him. Fret not thyself because of him who prospereth in his way, because of the man who bringeth wicked devices to pass. So, they're scheming day and night, to overthrow our people. They're trying so hard, man. They've turned our people, into a so-called pack of degenerates. And, the Lord is only interested in a small sanctuary, 1/3. That's his ultimate preservation, man. That's exactly why you gotta thank the Lord. Otherwise would that been like Sodom and Gomorrah? And this is what Amalek is pushing. Is pushing that vibration of Sodom and Gomorrah. And when you look at your life in the world, you understand exactly what influences, were stumbling blocks to you, and you know exactly what the results are when it doesn't go, when it goes unchecked, and when it goes checked, you see the righteousness of the Lord when the correction is applied, and you get elevated, in wisdom, knowledge, and understanding, and that's a huge plus, to be able to have the Lord deliver you from the hands of your enemy, so that you could preach the gospel in sincerity and truth. Once your mind is free, to accept this knowledge, man, there's nothing the enemy can do to hold you back. That's why we gotta thank the Lord, Yahushua HaMashiach, for doing it, for making it possible, man. And then you just gotta let the Lord, do his work. So the book of First Peter's chapter 2, verse 20. It says this, "For what glory is it if when ye be buffeted for your faults, ye shall take it patiently. But if when ye do well and suffer for it, ye take it patiently, this is acceptable with Yahweh." And that's all it is, man. We have to endure the the oppression and the ridicule from our oppressors, man. So that's why you just got to stand upon this knowledge, man. This is our only foundation. You know, the media is not there to push the truth in our in our court. The ball is in our court, all right. So we have to dictate how we respond, and that's a beautiful thing. You control the tempo of the interaction. You know how to handle the offense and defense, and that's what happens, man. So you just got to endure, man. You got to stay with the practice to the end, because when it's showtime, man, when it's showtime, then whatever you practice for will be put on display. You know, so you don't see Amalek trying to get in trying to get in the league and dominate. They rather want to be on the business side. They rather be spectators. But they don't understand, man. That's a riddle from the Lord, you know. And then I'm not sure the elders, the different camps can remember that video from a young Edomite boy that had a vision of the kingdom. I'm sure brothers remember it. It says that in the kingdom of heaven, that he saw so-called white people playing basketball. Yep, he said it. He said he saw so-called white people playing basketball in the kingdom of heaven. And our people, the Israelites, so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans are just watching, man. So it just shows you how, how impressive the Lord's sense of humor is, man. And the scripture talks about the first shall be last and the last shall be first. So you just have to, hold on, man. Hold on. Don't let all this propaganda distract you, from your main mission, your main purpose. All right. So, hey, it's a building process, man. You got to go through the heat, man. You got to go through the heat. You got to go through the oppressive tactics of the enemy, and it's even going to get worse. In the following year, from the different economic analysts, putting out credible information, and that's exactly, you're going to see, who the men are, who the weaklings are. All right. So, we just got to be grateful, man, that we got a power on our side that will not allow his prophecies, to fall by the wayside. So the book of Baruch chapter 4 verse 25 says, "My children, suffer patiently the wrath that is come upon you from Yahweh. For that enemy had persecuted thee, but shortly thou shalt see his destruction and shalt tread upon his neck." So that's good right there, Our people will get a last laugh, in the kingdom. So it's gonna be beautiful, man, to see what the Lord has laid in store for us. All right. So our enemies, man, they're gonna get some serious judgments coming for them. For that enemy have persecuted thee, but shortly thou shalt see his destruction. All right, and shall tread upon his neck. So we're gonna dominate them, man. All the way. Till the Lord says it's time to, dispatch them. So that's the truth, according to the scriptures. These historians and all these scholars, biblical scholars, they know what the fact is. You don't see them coming out on the news and talking about what the truth is. You know, so that's not their job to come defend the gospel. That's the job of the prophets. All right. So you just got to deal with it. You don't depend on somebody else to do your job. You have to do it because your name is attached to it. This is our heritage, all right? So the book of Second Maccabees, chapter 6, verse 12. This is a good one. It says, "Now I beseech those that read this book, that they be not discouraged for these calamities, but that they judge those punishments not to be for destruction, but for a chastening of our nation." So we have to endure, man. This is a building up experience for our people to get closer and closer to the Lord. All right, so that we'll be prepared in the time of trouble. In the time of Jacob's trouble, we'll be spiritually prepared, not just financially, not just having food to eat, but to have that spiritual foundation, that psychological preparation. That's exactly what we need to have. And that's the ultimate edge, man. To have your mind intact when everything around you is falling apart. That's the ultimate security that you could ever have, man. That spiritual sense of being. That's what we all pray for, man. Isaiah chapter 33, verse 6, wisdom and knowledge shall be the stability of that time. You know, that's what we need. That's what we need to feel the Lord is our treasure. So that's what we need to embark on. Okay, and to wrap this up, we go to the book of Psalms, chapter 79. All right, Psalms chapter 79. Verse 6, it says this: "Pour out thy wrath upon the enemy that have not known thee, and upon the kingdoms that have not called upon thy name." So there is no mercy for Edom. There is no mercy for Amalek. No matter how hard they try to claim a heritage that's not theirs, they have no inheritance. They can't even call upon the name of the Lord. So that's the cut. That's the ultimate separation right there. So we just got to deal with this thing, spiritually, man. It's not something to discuss with journalists or an investigative reporter. This is a spiritual battle, all right? And those that participate in a spiritual battle, we don't have time to be discussing about irrelevant topics. So we're winning. The enemy is trying to attack, but he's on the defensive. So the more we preach this gospel, the better off we'll be. We don't have to descend to that level of conversation, or let me say discourse. That's why the Lord has elevated us above the nations of this world. So that's the point that I came. We're getting elevated. The Lord has put us in a strong position, man. That the enemy, cannot debate us. You have to resort to other tactics that cannot gain any ground. So that's a beautiful thing. That's a beautiful part of prophecy that we all love to experience. And the Barataza, the Lord will deliver us in these last days. Shalom.